Here is what I'm doing if Daddy Trump wins the election this week. Michael McLean, brassballsvideos.com. I am an ex-professional hockey coach, ex-amateur championship hockey coach, turned 8-figure entrepreneur. You can join my free email list, my newsletter list, and you can also download my new book, 5 Ways to Unfuck Your Life in the Next 30 Days. It's my free gift to you. It's a 22-page PDF. The link is below. Word of warning about my new book. It's not every entrepreneur's cup of whiskey. I wrote this book for champions, not for chumps, for winners, not for whiners. So the link is below at brassballsvideos.com. So I just find this election fascinating. I've disciplined myself not to follow it. And admittedly, as a Canadian citizen, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't have I'm not in a position where I'm able to vote. But I mean, it's so exciting to see young people that now they're interested again in the democratic process. What I find fascinating is with the two parties now, there's never been a more clear defining difference between them. If you're a supporter of Trump and the Republicans, you believe in these principles, these values, these priorities. If you're part of the Democratic Party, you believe in these principles, these values. Like there's no crossover. So it's never ever been easier for a person to vote because, wow, this person stands for this person stands for this. So as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a husband and a father, you have to have a plan A and you have to have a plan B. It's not okay just to sit there and bitch and gripe and hope your guy wins or hope your gal wins. What I've been thinking about, instead of wasting my time following it, my father always says that politics is theater for ugly people. And my dad actually ran for office back in the day. So, and I'm of the belief what happens in my house is more important than what happens in the White House. I make my own economy. I make my own home. I make my own success. You know, that reflection in the mirror, that man in the glass, that's the only person that can make you rich, can make you thin, can make you happy, can make you unhappy, can make you free. So keep that in mind, regardless of what happens over the next week. But I do have 2 plans of action as an entrepreneur because it's irresponsible not to. But if Trump doesn't win, what we're looking at is the extension of what you've had the last 4 years. And you're going to be existing in an anti-capitalist environment. You're going to be doing business in an adversarial environment. We're the enemy, the small business owner, the entrepreneur, the husband, the father. You're the enemy. And you have to have a clear head. There's no sense getting upset about it. Is understanding the play, like the game. You're playing in the Super Bowl every day. Okay, what are the referees like? What's the other team like? What's the other coach like? And you adjust accordingly. You take accountability for the result. In other words, I've got a plan if Trump wins. I've got a plan if Trump loses. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a great saying. I titled my plan, If Trump Loses. And basically, what I've titled it is do less, better. Do less, better. So if Trump isn't elected by the American people this week, do less, better is the theme for my company. So I'm a consultant, I'm a coach, I'm a real estate investor, and I've already prepared for a lot of this over the last 6 months. My wife, Krista, and I have sold 5 of our real estate properties in Canada since January. 5 properties we've sold for cash. So instead of being in the real estate business where I'm not comfortable with being right now, I love real estate, but I've had those properties anywhere from 5 years to 20 years. So I cashed in 5 of those since January 1st. So I've taken that money and I've gone to cash because I don't know what's going to happen in the election. I don't know what's going to happen in the Canadian election as well. So I'm not whining, complaining, or picking fights with people. Like, I don't participate in politics. I don't participate in it. But as a husband and a father and an entrepreneur, I made this move because I just feel that right now we're at the peak, and I'm happy with those. I'm happy with what I was able to do in terms of selling those real estate properties. And I'm putting myself in a position, if the economy tanks or if there's more of this anti-business stuff that goes on, I'm really confident that I'm going to be in a position to be a buyer in a few years. So if Harris wins and we get 4 more years of the Democrats, I'm in a position now where I have 0 debt, I've got lots of cash, and if we're in the middle of, if there's more inflation or there's more debt or interest rates climb again, then I'm in a situation where I can adjust accordingly. But for me, if Trump doesn't win and you're in an anti-business environment, which we will be, I think it's critical that it's lean is mean, better and less. And that's the saying that Steve Jobs lived with at Apple. When he returned in 1997, after he was fired, Apple was nearly bankrupt. Apple was almost gone when they brought Jobs back from firing him the first time. And he came back and he looked around Apple, and he went to see some of the engineers, the designers. And he was like, what the hell happened here? He actually is quoted in his book of going to see one of the designers of Apple products and saying to her, well, you haven't been very fucking efficient, have you, since I left? They had over 40 Apple products, over 40 bloated products. And what was incredible was the fact that the company was just about to go bankrupt. So what was the first thing that Jobs did on his second act, his return to Apple? He took a hatchet to all those bloated products. The company didn't stand for anything. The company was all fat. It was all red tape. It was all bureaucracy. So he took a hatchet to it in the first week that he was back. And he went from 40 products down to almost none. And then gradually over time, his second sequel at Apple, he introduced products like the iPod, and then the iPad, and then eventually the iPhone, and then of course, the earbuds and all this other stuff. But always one product at a time, launching one product at a time. So that's where I've been thinking about, no matter what the economy, no matter who's in the White House, no matter how much I have to battle, I want to do less and I want to do it better. Less and better. And that's not just in my business life. I'm thinking about less and better as a husband, less and better as a father, less and better as a marketer, less and better as a coach, where I use vitamin N, and I'm going to say no a lot more if Harris is elected. And it's going to be critical because we're going to be attacked as entrepreneurs and business owners from all sides. You're the enemy if the Democrats get to continue with this agenda. There's going to be more taxes. There's going to be more red tape. There's going to be they're going to make it harder for you to win. So you have to think to yourself, okay, how can I simplify my business? And I have 3 words that the great Dan Kennedy has pounded into my head for 40 years. More, fewer, and less. And Dan always talks about this in business, regardless of who's in the White House. More money, fewer clients and customers or employees. Less stands for less headaches. So everything I think about doing, how can I make more money? That's what more stands for. Fewer stands for, can you do it with fewer customers, fewer clients, fewer employees? Can you raise your prices? Can you niche more? And then less always stands for less headaches, less red tape, all that kind of stuff. So in our case, that's Marc-Andre and I running a lean, mean business. And we understand that this is not the time. If Trump loses, this is not the time to be hiring a whole bunch of people. It's not the time to be testing new things. What we're going to do is we're going to hunker down. We're going to circle the wagons, and we're going to get more from fewer and less. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to continue to focus on one thing, which is building our email list. I built my email list in the insurance business, the barbershop business, the hockey coaching business, and now in the consulting business. So I'm not going to be participating in anti-social media. I'm not going to be spending all kinds of money, on ads on anti-social media, any of that stuff. I'm just going to keep it more, fewer, and less. I'm going to get up and I'm going to send an email and I'm going to shoot a video. I'm going to get up, I'm going to shoot a video and send an email. And Mark and I are going to continue to build our email list. Our goal is to build it to 1 million subscribers. And we're a few years away from that, but every day, 50 more, 60 more, 70 more, some days 140 people more. And just keep focused on what's important. And it's almost a mind your own business mindset where I'm going to make my money in the dark. I'm not going to be big. I don't want to be a big corporation. I just want to be a two-person business that helps pay people. That's it. Email videos, email videos, email videos. Write my newsletter, coach my guys in my mastermind, and keep it simple. Fewer, less better, less better. How can we make our newsletter better? How can we make our emails better? How can we make our videos better? How can we make more money, okay, with fewer clients or fewer employees? And how can we have even less headaches than we do? And that's going to be the focus, because there's going to be more regulation. There's going to be more red tape. There's going to be more anti-capitalism. And you just get yourself ready for it. You just get yourself ready for it. It's like coaching football and you're going, from Miami to play into Green Bay. You know what's coming, so get your ass prepared. A good friend of mine says, get your house in order all the time, especially now. Have your house in order. We sold those 5 properties. Get your house in order. We got ourselves into a situation where we have zero debt. Zero debt. I was using some banking money over the last 10 years because the interest rates, mortgage rates were 2%, 3%. So, we were able to keep more money in the marketplace and make more money. But now that interest rates are higher, mortgage rates are higher, this was the perfect time to cash out of those places. And we did, and now we're in a situation, let's say over the next 2 to 3 years, the economy drops, or we go into a recession again, or we go into even a depression, even as far as a depression like my mom and dad were raised in, or were born into in 33. We're going to be in a situation where we have no debt, and we have no credit issues, and we have available cash. Then I can be a buyer, because everything's going to be a fire sale. Real estate will be a fire sale. Property will be homes will be businesses will be a fire sale. So get yourself lean and mean if you haven't already. Get yourself ready to go to battle. Get yourself in the best physical shape, the best mental shape, the best spiritual shape. Get rid of all the debt you can get rid of. Corral your spending. If you can't buy it for cash twice, don't buy it. If you can't buy that truck twice for cash, don't buy it. If you can't buy that boat or that jet ski twice with cash, don't buy it. And last thing I'll say, if Trump doesn't win, is focus, double down on your education. That's very self-serving because I'm in the education business, but this is the time to say, if Trump loses and we go into an anti-business environment and we stay in it like we've been in, is double down on your self-education. It's the #1 investment. You don't have to buy my stuff. You don't have to spend money with me. But what I'm saying is there's nothing more valuable than self-education. Nothing, not real estate, not the markets, nothing. So I'm doubling down. I'm even more committed as a student now because I know that it's going to be tough. I know that it's winter will come. Like if Harris is elected, what you're looking at is a long, cold winter. And for me to look at that any other way is immature. It's a long, cold winter. It's beyond my control. I need to focus on controlling the controllables. And one of the controllables that I'm going to control is I'm eliminating entertainment and I'm replacing it with education. So you need to get rid of the anti-social media, the Netflix, the Hulu, all that television shit that people are hiding in. They're escaping into it. Get rid of the booze, get rid of the smoke, get rid of the talk, all of the stuff, all of the vices in your life have to go. And those vices are low frequency. They don't help you. They don't make you a better person. They don't make you, and get lean and mean. And live that adage of more with fewer and less. And that money, we're getting all those tiny little entertainment things out of our life. You know, the politics, the TV, the whatever it is. And I'm investing in books and newsletters and trainings so that I'm making myself bulletproof during this winter. This is winter now. We have a harsh winter coming if Trump doesn't get in. So the mature thinking is, what can I control? I can't control that result other than voting. But now, what's next? How can I protect my family, my business? How can I do more? How can I make more with fewer and less every day? And like Steve Jobs was saying, it's about okay, I'm going to do less things better. Less things better. And also remembering that along those lines, your physical conditioning, your mental conditioning, your spiritual conditioning, an attitude of gratitude, and worry about running your own race. Worry about the man in the glass. Every day you get up, you stare into that glass and you say to yourself, that's the only person that can make me rich, can make me healthy, can make me wealthy, can make me sad, can make me happy, can give me peace. And then go about running your own race. Put the blinders on and do your deal. Better with fewer. Make more with fewer and less. You can download a copy of my book below at brassballsvideos.com. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to be out here every day controlling the controllable. Sending an email to my list and a video. And every day I'm going to be out here shooting these ugly, broken iPhone videos and giving you a mental kick in the pants, plus myself a mental kick in the pants. Regardless of what happens in the White House, what happens in my house, in your house is most important. And we make our own economy, and we make our own happiness, and we make our own peace and our freedom. Remember that. What happens with you, the man in the glass, is the most important part of whatever is coming. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.